Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kamil, and I'm head of engineering operations at EnergyWeb. And today I would like to walk you through for the enterprise Web3 adoption with SmartFlow and worker node networks, and show to you how EnergyWeb X ecosystem is profiting and benefiting the solution that we are building. So without further ado, let's start. So first things first, just very briefly about the EnergyWeb. We have been founded in 2017 as a non-profit organization with a mission to accelerate decarbonization. Currently, we are 45 team members in total, spread across all the world, so fully remote company. And what I believe is pretty important and unique as for the EnergyWeb is that we are really strong in the partners. So we have more than 100 companies all around the world that are working with us, collaborating on building solutions, using our tech. And those companies are ranging from a pure blockchain ones, like Nethermind, for example, to a really huge enterprises like Shell from the energy sector. And for all of those, with the cooperation with all of those companies, we are building different solutions. And those solutions, they have one thing in common, that they are connected to our EnergyWeb X ecosystem. And via this connection, those solutions can have pieces of their functionalities run in a really truly decentralized, trustless manner. Some of those solutions are already in production, while others are still in the pipelines and will be coming shortly. And speaking about the projects, obviously EnergyWeb is constantly exploring different opportunities, different use cases. But for the sake of today's presentation, I would like to speak mainly about the single category, which is one of our, I would say, flagships, which is greenproof. And under the greenproofs category, there are a couple of use cases. First of one being Bitcoin mining. Within the scope of this use case, we are effectively aiming to incentivize the miners to supply their work with the green energy. And one prominent example of this is the project that we are building with cooperation with PayPal and DMG, where we are incentivizing the miners to supply their work with green energy, as well as we are increasing the likelihood of transactions being routed to those miners. Next one, from the greenproofs use cases, is the SAFC, which stands for Sustainable Aviation Fuel. And here we are again providing a platform that allows of a different operations, meaning issuance, transfer, and retirement of the certificates that are related to the sustainable aviation fuel. And this is already live in production, and those operations are conducted in the trustless, decentralized manner, thanks to the worker nodes and EnergyWeb X connection. And last but not least, example use case from the greenproofs umbrella is e-mobility, where we are building an application that on the one side is connecting the owners of the EV vehicles that can utilize the data from the charging sessions to match with the energy attribute certificates coming from the local green energy suppliers. And one important piece to mention is obviously that those different use cases have all sorts of requirements. And important, or one of the most important category of requirements is governance. Because our tech to supply all of those use cases needs to comply to the governance requirements. And just to name a few pieces of requirements type that we are needing to comply with. First one is, for example, your solution needs to be run by the private consortium of the companies. So your workloads are only allowed to be run by the consortium that is operating this solution. Another one is regional. So maybe your workloads, even being decentralized, just need to come from a certain region, maybe a certain country. Next one, maybe you demand a custom KYC that you defined as an owner of the solution. And lastly, maybe you're okay with totally public solution that can be run by anyone in the world. And obviously the hybrid, which is combination of any of the above. And here enters the EnergyWeb X ecosystem that is effectively serving two purposes. One is first connecting all of those projects and allowing them to have those pieces of the functionalities run in this decentralized, trustless manner, but also compliance to those governance requirements that I mentioned. And here are three elements, main elements of this ecosystem that I would like to talk about. In the middle, you have EnergyWebX, which is our blockchain, that is a parachain on Polkadot. And then you have SmartFlow and worker nodes. And on those two, about those two, I will tell you about in a minute. First, SmartFlow. SmartFlow is our product that allows you to create business logic, deploy it on the blockchain, and later basically control the life cycle of that solution, and basically make any modification to that logic. And the key features of SmartFlow are that, first of all, it drastically reduces the operational overhead to deploy your logic. And secondly, natively, it gives you exposure to hundreds of operators that are there ready to run your logic. And it comes with a solution or business logic capture builder as a low-code environment with a customized palette designed for our ecosystem. Next one is the worker nodes. That you can think about as an off-chain runners that are controlled by the blockchain operators, blockchain operations that are allowed to download the logic and later execute it based on the things that are defined on the blockchain. And obviously, there are lots of different motives and requirements, and some of them you can see right now on the screen that made us to prepare our ecosystem the way we did. So that end up having us to create the SmartFlow worker nodes and establishing the EnergyWeb ecosystem. And the last thing that I want to mention is, right now you know what are the use cases that we are dealing with, you know what are the elements of the EnergyWeb ecosystem, but the final piece is how we offer and how our tech can be consumed. And here we have two major groups of stakeholders that we are addressing. First one are enterprises, and for them we have built a software as a service platform called Launchpad that allows them to basically consume any of our products, whether it is strictly EnergyWebX ecosystem related or other ones, in a full enterprise manner and with the seamless, simple wizards. And one important feature of the Launchpad is, even regardless of the duality of the ecosystem where you still have a token, via the Launchpad, clients are only exposed to the fiat payments. So there is no really a hurdle on how to put the tokens into your books. This is how it looks like, and you can obviously already browse it by going to launchpad.energyweb.org to see it live because it's already in production. And on the flip side, you have the second side of second major stakeholders that are our community. And for them, we have built a desktop application called Marketplace App that it's like a one-stop shop for any kind of operations that a regular community member would like to have. So they can move tokens in and out from our blockchain, they can stake, they can subscribe to the solution groups, and run the logic with the worker node that is embedded behind the app. So they will keep executing the logic that is controlled via SmartFlow. And last piece that I would like to tell you about is the endeavor that we are starting, or we are right now in the middle of. It's called nomination. And you can think about this as a way of determining a subset of the worker nodes that allow in the given time to execute your logic with the compliance of your governance. And first nomination option that we are exploring is that we call carbon aware. And this effectively will allow you to choose the worker nodes to run your logic following the carbon emissions for the given region. So you can think about that not everyone, even in the boundaries of your governance, will be incentivized to run your logic, but maybe only the ones or only the operators that are located in the areas of the low carbon emissions. And obviously, this is not the only way or not the only nomination that will be there, but it's the first one that we are exploring. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you, everyone, for attention. I hope that you are encouraged right now to explore a little bit of our tech, and happy to speak with you on the conference floors. Thanks.